There are several benefits of learning how to master role-playing. You will become more confident because you have a plan and the right roles for optimizing your performance. Become more adept as a communicator as you learn new insights to draw on. Learn more about yourself and your capacity to inspire and motivate. The ability to adopt different styles of behavior and step into the right role in every situation is a potent tool for change. It's a behavior you may already use from time to time with some effectiveness, whether you realize it or not. The question is, do you want to grow and gain the value from employing this approach intentionally? I hope so. When you start identifying the roles you'd like to play and you open up to new styles of behavior, you move from supporting roles into leading roles. Are you going to play a leading or a supporting role in your life? Let's explore the kinds of roles you want to play in your life and discuss how you can excel at them. These can range from long-term, big dream roles such as being a CEO to narrower, get-it-done-soon roles such as best sales closer. Perhaps you'd like to be more of a leading man at home but less of a general at work. There are some instances where you might want to take the leading role and other instances when you're more effective in a supporting role. There is a difference between being in the limelight and hogging the limelight. Keep two important points in mind. 1. When you take on a new role, there may be loved ones, friends, or colleagues who aren't comfortable with your new role and prefer you in your old role. Here's an example. A friend of mine left a stable job as an art teacher because she wanted to make more money and collaborate with people doing cutting-edge work. She started dating a man just before she quit and took a job as a designer at an ad agency. Although her new boyfriend said he supported the move, the new corporate role made him uncomfortable. My friend wanted to become a serious achiever and gain more independence. Apparently, her boyfriend had different plans for her. This next statement is a bold one, so I don't expect you to agree with me right off the bat, but there may be some people you should drop from your life. I believe that, if the people around you hold you back from playing new and different roles, roles that serve your dreams, those people need to go. I know that sounds harsh, it's rarely a simple proposition, and yes, some of the unsupportive people we are tied to by blood, but you get one shot at this life and it's your life to live, isn't it? Share it with others, but don't let them write your life story and cast you as a supporting character. You are the writer, director, and star of your own life. 2. Be honest with yourself as you go through the process. Continually ask if you are trying to achieve your real goals or just trying to get people to approve of you. For example, you may be trying to play the role of champion on your corporate team. Playing that role would make you more visible and give you a higher status in the organization, among your peers, and even in your family. However, it's important for you to remember why you are doing this work. Is it what you really want for your long-term success, or is it something you're doing for the immediate approval of the people you work with or a family member or even the Joneses next door? You can always draw upon your collection of roles for daily life and for important performances once you have become skilled at them. They become part of your repertoire as a manager, leader, entrepreneur, parent, lover, or head of the PTA. What do you need to do to play the ideal roles you have just identified? This brings us to the next important question. What do you need to do to play the roles you aspire to? What kinds of performances will you be called upon to make in this role, and how will you prepare for those moments? Here's an example from my previous career. When I left acting almost 20 years ago, I was searching for my next step. At the time, I raced road bikes, and I was teaching an indoor cycling class as a way to train during the off-season. I loved exercise, and with my background as an actor, I was good at creating motivating and theatrical experiences for the students in my class, again, playing a role. I heard there was an open position for a group fitness manager who would be responsible for hiring, creating programming, and signing and managing the fitness instructors at one of the club locations. I saw myself in this role. I also had some new ideas for programming and a theory about why I would excel in the position. There was just one problem. I lacked any of the certifications or experience the position supposedly required. To impress Tony, the director of the department, who had to approve me for the key interview with the vice president of the fitness division, I used my acting training to imagine myself as the perfect group exercise manager with tons of fresh ideas. I chose parts of my backstory to support my theory as to why I would excel in this position. I rehearsed how I'd present my case, and I had strong, clear motivation that I would share with them. I wanted to make group exercise the most profitable and fun division of the company. At the time, it was just considered a corporate overhead. I also amped up my motivation to get that job by thinking, if I don't get this, I won't be able to pay any of my bills, no self-respecting woman will ever be willing to date me, and I'll end up a balding, not prospects punchline. Turns out I couldn't really avoid the balding part. I sat down with Tony and asked her to look at what I had done in my acting career. I explained that in the same way actors work to create memorable experiences for the audience, a group exercise class can create experiences for the participating club members. I would use my dramatic skills and theatrical know-how to make the classes more surprising and delightful. I also demonstrated that my experience with theater production was all about project management. That is, I had experience organizing people and budgets against a timeline to produce an event. And finally, I told her that my training as an actor and an acting teacher made me good at identifying and developing talent as I went about hiring fitness class leaders, the best of which are natural performers. I also pitched my theory that they were hiring the wrong characters for what the roles actually required. They were hiring top fitness teachers to be managers because of their good records in attracting students, but they weren't looking for candidates with much in the way of natural management sensibilities. Taking a chance, I told Tony, I have an abundance of these natural talents. I should mention that I was nervous the entire time. I don't want you to think that I just skated through the entire process. There was a lot riding on this interview, and I was way outside my comfort zone. Fortunately, my training as an actor gave me the ability to control my breath and body language. A good performer can appear to be at ease in the face of great pressure, even with anxiety flowing through his veins. Tony was impressed and agreed to move me to the next step, an interview with the senior vice president of the whole division. And get this, she gave me the company's procedures manual to help me speak the language I needed to develop for my character. I studied ferociously and adopted the language from the procedures manual to fit the role I wanted to play. I got the big job after my performance in the second interview. Shortly thereafter, I was given the opportunity to add a second club to my roster along with a salary bump of $5,000. I thanked them for the offer but declined, explaining that the math didn't make sense. It was double the work for a tiny increase in pay. This surprised them because people in the industry were usually motivated by status and approval and were willing to sacrifice themselves to get it. So I played the role of dealmaker, wrote a simple script, and made a counteroffer, one with a huge risk for me. Which 3 goals, if accomplished within the next 3 months, would make you the happiest? I asked the bosses. When they told me, I said, I'll make you a deal. I'll take on this second club, and if I accomplish those goals within 3 months, you'll double my salary. If I don't accomplish the goals, I'll take the $5,000. First, there was silence in the room, followed by laughter and even a bit of snickering. But they agreed, clearly thinking I'd never succeed. You know I wouldn't be telling you this story if the ending wasn't a happy one. I doubled my salary, and just 3 months after that, because I had another success while playing the role of renegade entrepreneur, I was promoted to director of the division with yet another salary increase. That's 3 promotions and almost 3 times my original salary within 6 months. So, here are the most important steps in that experience. 1. I got clear on my super objective and my motivation to achieve it. 2. I decided on the role I would play, then I thought and acted as if I already was the great manager I'd envisioned using my imagination. 3. Then I drew on my backstory to fill in the role and find my voice, and I did research with the employee manual. 4. I took huge but achievable risks by making what seemed to be outsized promises while also getting things done under the radar. 5. I also stayed in the moment to discover what they really wanted and needed. 6. I developed relationships with people who had my back and helped me accomplish my goals. The final consideration lies in learning about your role by studying the best performers that you can observe. Just as athletes improve by practicing the shot or swing of their idol and countless repetitions, this approach can work in business roles and performances. If you see a star in a role you admire, say, the master networker, study what she does and decide what is comfortable for you to try. This doesn't mean you should pretend to be someone else. It means learn and practice the techniques of a master performer, just as you would in graduate school or at a seminar. What roles do you aspire to? Would you like to move into more leading roles? If so, what kinds of performances will you be called upon to play in those roles, and do you have the courage to step into the spotlight and steal the show when you do?